Welcome to a new video, and I hope you guys are all doing well. In this video, I wanted to share 10 facts about myself. I have a question and answer video that I filmed previously, and I'll link that down below in case you want to go check it out. This one will be 10 facts about me, and hopefully it will help you get to know me a little better. This first fact is probably one that many of you guys are wondering or have already been speculating, and that is my shopping and spending behavior. I'm assuming many of you guys think that I just spend money endlessly and there's like no limit and I can do whatever I want and buy whatever I want whenever I want, but that's not the truth. I actually use my own money that I make for shopping, so all of the clothes, shoes, bags, accessories, jewelry, all of those things I purchase using my own money. Obviously, before I started making my own money, my parents supported my shopping as well, but ever since I started having income, I use my own money to shop with. I'm very blessed that my parents still support my living. So for all of you guys that think it's just a free-for-all and I just spend however I want and buy everything, that is not the case. And I think this is such a great thing that my parents did, because it really teaches you the value of money and to not just spend recklessly. I remember when I was younger, I would go on kind of crazy shopping trips and just buy anything and everything that I wanted. As I grew older, I started to learn more, and I also had so many things and I wasn't even wearing them because I went to a private school for middle school and we had uniforms, and so the only time I was able to actually wear my clothes that I purchased was on free dress days. I still remember I would go all out on those free dress days, and to everyone at school, all the teachers, all my classmates and my friends all knew I loved fashion because of the way I dressed. Even when we had uniforms, I would still wear like fun jewelry or switch up different colored nails, just different ways that I could still express myself even though we were wearing uniforms. Fact number 2 is I don't smoke, I don't drink alcohol, I don't eat dairy, I don't eat gluten, and I'm vegan. I used to eat a lot of fish and chicken. I never really liked beef or any red meats to begin with, and so when I became vegan, the only thing I was really cutting out was just chicken and seafood. I do make exceptions, like when I'm traveling or when my mom brings back really yummy pastries, or if I'm at a birthday party or something. I'm not going to be super picky. I just eat the cake, or I'll enjoy the croissants or the pastries that are in Paris without wondering if it's gluten-free or if it's vegan. There's also this one sushi restaurant in LA called Sugarfish that I love. If you live in LA, you probably know of it, but they have the best nigiri sushi and it tastes so good. I've been to Tokyo twice before, and I think the sushi at Sugarfish rivals the ones that are in Japan. That's how good it is, but I only have it like once every 2 to 3 months. 95% of the time I'm vegan. I will also drink champagne if it's a special occasion or if I'm at a party. So like the vegan food things, I'm not very strict on that as well. I'm not someone that's allergic to alcohol. I just choose not to drink it because it's better for you. This third fact is a little bit more about my mom and her relationship with us. Growing up, my mom was very hands-on. Of course, we had nannies and babysitters and housekeepers, but my mom liked to do everything and anything she could do by herself. I am the oldest out of me and my 2 brothers, and as soon as I was born, my mom told me that she stopped working so she could take care of me. She would drive me to horseback riding lessons and take my brother to tennis lessons and tennis tournaments, even if it was like several hours away. Some of these tennis tournaments, I remember they were like 2.5, 3 hours away, and the horseback riding competitions we had to even fly in a plane to, so she got a plane for that just for more convenient purposes. We were all very lucky growing up to have a mom that was so present, because dad was always very, very busy working. The fourth fact is one that you guys may kind of already know because I've posted a lot of pictures about it on Instagram, and also I showed you guys some of my horseback riding pictures in a previous vlog. Since I was in 1st or 2nd grade, I got into horses. How I got into it was one day I went with one of my best friends to her riding lesson, and I just thought, oh, this is so cool, I want to try riding a horse. So the next thing you know, I started riding and I loved it, and there was just something about about horseback riding that I absolutely loved. I tried tennis, basketball, volleyball, all of those sports, but none of them I really liked. I would play a season of it at school, and then the next season I was kind of over it. But horseback riding was just something I always loved. So I was riding all throughout lower school and middle school, and then into high school as well. I actually switched from the regular brick and mortar high school to online high school just because I wanted to be able to still attend all the competitions, and it was very difficult to keep up with all the schoolwork and do all the tests in addition to traveling to the competitions. All of these horse competitions were not local. I had to either go to LA or to San Diego or Palm Springs, to Kentucky, to Texas, Florida, even over to Europe. It required a lot of time commitment. I switched to Stanford Online High School so I could compete and finish my studies at the same time. In 2014, I was actually ranked #1 in the country with my horse, Commissaria, who also won Horse of the Year. So that was a really successful year for me in my horse career. I also did think at one point I was going to become a professional horseback riding for my career because I just loved it so much. I had 5 horses. My parents were about to purchase this huge barn, and thank goodness they didn't, because now fashion is #1 for me. The thing is horses were always a part of me, and so was fashion, but I was just so into horses that I didn't realize how much I actually loved fashion. And the good thing about horseback riding is it's not one of those sports like tennis where you get rusty after you don't play for a while. Horseback riding, because I think I've done it for so long and so many years, you kind of have muscle memory. I can get on a horse tomorrow and jump around a whole course even though I haven't ridden in like a whole year. So that's something that I would definitely do when I have the time to. The 5th fact is no one else in my family likes fashion. I'm the only person that is super passionate about it, and I've loved it since day one, since I was a little girl. I still remember when I used to come back from school, I would go straight to the closet and play dress up in my mom's closet, wearing her shoes, her jewelry. My mom tells me I got the fashion gene from my grandfather because my grandfather from my mom's side, he was a fashion designer, suit designer I should say, for men's suits in Taiwan, and he loved fashion, he loved to shop, he had an incredible eye, so my mom says that's where I got it from. I'm really sad that I never really got to know my grandfather because he passed away when I was very young, so I don't really have any memory of him, but my mom always tells me that we would have gotten along so well together and had so much fun. The 6th fact is I used to work at Nordstrom. Right when I turned 18, my mom told me, she's like, Jamie, you need to go out and work and appreciate the value of money. I remember I was kind of reluctant, but I still applied for jobs. I applied to Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's, Neiman Marcus, Intermix, and Nordstrom was the first store that I heard back from. I went in for a few rounds of interviews at Nordstrom and they liked me, and then they told me they had a position opening in salon shoes or at Topshop BP. And I never really shopped at Nordstrom because when I shopped at department stores back then, I always shopped at Neiman's, Saks, or Barney's. And so I wasn't familiar with what salon shoes was. So I told them I wanted to work in Topshop. That night, I went home and I was asking some friends and I was Googling. I was like, what is salon shoes? And they were saying salon shoes is designer shoes. And I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to work in Topshop anymore. Of course I want to do designer shoes. I just didn't know the terminology Nordstrom used for designer shoes because I never really shopped there. So the next day, first thing in the morning, I called the HR people and I was like, can I actually work in salon shoes? Do you still have that opening available? And they're like, yes, of course. So the next day I wanted to go meet with the manager and they liked me and they hired me. So I was working in the salon shoes department at my local Nordstrom for the entire summer. I actually turned out to really like it. It was such a good experience. I loved my colleagues. I loved helping customers, even though some of them were not very pleasant. But it was an overall very pleasant experience, and I actually wanted to continue doing it throughout the school year as well. I was homeschooling at the time, but they still wanted me to work full time, and that was just not something I could accommodate along with school and with horseback riding. So unfortunately, I had to stop my Nordstrom job in October, November, because after we tried 1 month of trying to work with school and horses and this job, it was just not working so well, and they needed me to be able to do more hours, which I couldn't. But overall, I had a really good experience, so I'm actually glad that my mom pushed me out there to go work, and it definitely did teach me the value of money, so she did accomplish that as well. The 8th fact is I am obsessed with chocolate. Chocolate is my weakness. I'm definitely not a vanilla person. It's chocolate all the way. Dark chocolate is my favorite, and I love almost chocolate anything. Chocolate cake, chocolate macaroons, chocolate pastries, chocolate croissants, you name it, chocolate I'm in for. However, I don't like white chocolate. I don't know, it's just too sweet for me, and I don't even think white chocolate is real chocolate, because I feel like it's not made from cocoa beans. Correct me if I'm wrong. My favorite chocolates are actually from this place called T-shirt Chocolates or Toy-shirt Chocolates. They're based in Switzerland, and they have a shop that's in San Francisco, and you can also order online, but they have the best champagne truffles. I know I said I don't drink alcohol, but this chocolate is different, and it's so good. The chocolates are made with Dom Perignon, so it's the best type of champagne, and the flavor is so nice and rich, and I'm obsessed with that chocolate. This 9th fact may not come as a huge surprise. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I love to travel. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. I love to see new places, meet new people, immerse myself in new cultures, try their food and everything. I'm someone that gets bored super easily, so traveling and being on the go is something that I love to do. I don't like to be in one place for too long. What happens to me is I will be traveling for like a whole month. For example, Fashion Month. I'll go to New York, London, Milan, and Paris. And when I'm in Paris, like the last few days, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to be home and sleep in my own bed and just relax. But as soon as I come home and 2 days have passed and I've kind of recouped myself, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go again. I want to travel again because I just love it so much to just go places and see people and see things and just do it all. And this last fact, number 10, is if I wasn't doing fashion, I would probably do something along the lines of becoming a chef or cooking or something like that. My favorite thing to watch is those cooking competition shows, and Iron Chef America is my favorite show. Just watching them come up with those creations of those dishes, how they can use those weird secret ingredients that they're presented and come up with such beautiful and like artistic dishes. When I was little, I used to bake a lot also and cook for my family, and I got super into the plating and all of that as well. I think food is kind of similar to fashion in that the plating and the design, especially those cake people that make those beautiful cakes. There's this one Instagram account that I discovered a few months ago, and I'm obsessed with looking at their page because they make the most beautiful cakes. It's so artistic and modern. I just love looking through their Instagram because the cakes that they make are so cool, and I would definitely order one of them, but they're actually based in Moscow in Russia. So if I have any Russian viewers out there, I mean, you guys should definitely go check out their bakery or something. That concludes this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit about me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!